flashbulbs going off already here at Synergy Field, even as McGwire has come out on deck. They're not waiting for McGwire to come to the plate. They want that photo op right now. That's deep left field, and he has McGwired one. It is 1-0 Cardinals. So Tatis does a Big Mac, and before he even rounds the bases, the fans are standing as McGwire has approached the plate to congratulate Tatis, but the ovation has already begun for Mark McGwire. Before he was even introduced, the fans were on their feet as Fernando Tatis was running out his home run. McGwire approached the plate to congratulate him, and the fans already had begun their spontaneous ovation. It is 0-1 to McGwire. Now, McGwire was emotionally spent in mid-game last night, and there was talk that he might not play tonight. La Russa said he would leave it up to Mac and said that he could go. And that'll be the question. I mean, how much does he have left? Because he has been so focused, and there was such an outpouring of emotion, an emotional release. So we'll see. The count is 0-2 to McGwire. And then he gets here in a visiting ballpark, an enemy ballpark, and it was Busch Stadium revisited. The same thing was happening. And the flashbulbs are just going off all through the ballpark, a million points of light. And you can see the emotion on McGwire's face as he wondered if perhaps he had enough left to handle this outpouring of love. And the throw from Aaron Boone. McGwire is out number 2. And another ovation as he leaves the field.
Something that we've seen over the last 3 or 4 weeks, the flash bulbs. Just look at them from upper deck. I don't know how they expect to get much of a image when you're taking them from upper deck, unless you have some type of zoom camera. You're going to get just a dot and not be able to tell the uniform number, but nonetheless, they know it's Mark McGwire.
Ray Knight with some advice on your...
And Mark Grace and Gracie the Swan are honored today on a lovely day for baseball. The Cubs lead the wild card by a game over the Mets, and they're hopeful of seeing Sammy Sosa hit number 61 today. I don't know about you, partner, but when I was filling out my scorecard today, I got a shiver when I saw Sammy Sosa with 60 home runs and 145 batted in.
It's hard to believe that we would ever see a Chicago Cub player with 60 home runs. Not only that, but 60 home runs with still 13 games to go. And Sammy has got a great shot. Chip, we'll get into it later, but I wrote down some of his numbers against pitchers that he will probably see in San Diego, and they're staggering. So he's got a good shot in that 4-game series. Started behind the plate today for the Mets.
1-1. That ball rifled into right field. Sammy's in. He's got it. And that retires aside. That situation in New York getting a little ugly between Hundley and Bobby Valentine. We'll talk more about that when we come back. It's 6-3 and Sammy due up. Well, our thanks once again to the good folks at Tie Incorporated for their generosity in sponsoring a couple of Beanie Babies today. The Daisy the Cow Beanie Baby earlier this year. Today, Gracie the Swan. Next year, Oh, Arnie the Weasel, perhaps. It'll be a huge, huge seller. Mark Grace leads off the Cubs' fifth.
And you can almost feel a buzz of anticipation with Sammy in the on-deck circle, waiting to hit next.
Grace lines it over short. A leadoff single in a 3-run game, and the no-hitter is over in Arizona. Sean Casey singled with 1 out to spoil Andy Benes's bid. So here is Sammy in the 5th. And you're right, folks, Sammy does have his groove back. He's fly to right, he's walked, he's scored a run. Cubs with a 3-run lead, looking for more. The pitch is through there for a strike. Sosa has hit 49 of his 60 home runs against right-handed pitching.
That man, Mr. Bill Murray, looking on, rooting for 61.
The 0-1. Swung on, belted. There it goes. Number 61. Move over Maris.
Chip, it went by the yellow building. It would have gone through one of the windows, but it went way down the street. And Sammy's driven in 147 with his 61st home run. A monstrous shot to straightaway left field. Sammy Sosa is one behind Mark McGwire.
So it's Sammy Sosa, Roger Maris, and Mark McGwire as the only 3 men hit 61 or more. Unbelievable. Glenn Allen Hill pops it up. It's 0-2 to him. And there was no doubt about that ball. He absolutely crushed it. The pop, then the hop. And the only other question was, where would the ball stop? And folks, he's got a couple more swings left in him today.
And a huge series coming up in San Diego against a staff and in a ballpark that he just loves.
Hill with a base hit to left. Well, how far did she go?
Let's take another look. It's out over the plate, and Sammy got every bit of this. He knows it's gone when it left the bat. So does everybody else as the fans spring to their feet. It was a monstrous, towering home run by the building. Look at the fans leap to their feet as they know it's 61 for Sosa.
Wow. And it's an 8-3 game now.
Anything less than 500 happy feet and we would have shorted Sammy Sosa.
I just can't believe that we got two guys in the span of a week are both at 61 or greater.
And still a long way to go.
That's right. Gaetti. Did he go around? Yeah, he did. Well, with Bill Murray on hand, National League pitchers, when they see McGwire and Sosa, they're saying it's Groundhog Day, as everybody keeps doing the same thing to him, hitting long home runs.
Well, they walked him intentionally in the third, and they pitched to him in the fifth, and it cost him 2 runs. Sammy now is sneaking up on Juan Gonzalez for the major league lead in runs batted in. Sammy with 147. Folks, you're looking at the National League most valuable player. I don't know if he's going to win that vote, but that is the National League most valuable player.
And Stoney, you're looking at a guy that has been locked in from day one with this ball club. And now continues to say all the right things, do all the right things in the field. And he swings and misses. He strikes out for out number 1. And it really has been a great pleasure to watch him do his thing.
Let's take another look, and Sammy, who has already broken a window in the yellow building across the street, hits it by the building this time. For Southwest Airlines, they estimated at a very happy 480 feet, grossly underestimated, might I add, but Sammy will take it.
So here comes Mickey. And heads up to all you military folks out in San Diego when we head to town. Nothing against your pitching staff. It's outstanding. But just in case, y'all might want to bring a glove to left field.
And right field and center field.
Man, oh man. So Roger Maris moves over as Sammy Sosa joins him at 61. And now he's 1 behind mighty Mark McGwire. The Cardinals and the Astros play tonight at the Dome.
Take a look at that. 2 men in the same season have eclipsed 60. And you know, we said it at the time, Chip, quite obviously all the accolades heaped on Mark McGwire, and a lot of people were calling him the home run king and the man who had set the record. There was no doubt about that, but it was almost like posting a score as the leader in the clubhouse in a golf tournament. You post a score, but you've got some guys left out on the course. One of those guys, Sammy Sosa, still in pursuit, and now he's just 1 back.
Ground ball right side, and not to take anything away from McGwire, I wouldn't dream of doing that. That moment, he was the first man that broke the record. No doubt about it, he deserves the accolades. He deserves the wonderful attention that he so rightly deserved and got. But I wonder what the reception will be for Sammy Sosa if he ends up with more home runs, for then he will be the record holder, not Mark McGwire. And frankly, I don't think Sosa's gotten nearly as much attention, nearly as much notoriety as McGwire, because Big Mac has led all season long.
And he was the man, along with Ken Griffey, that everybody said in spring training, if this expansion year is indeed going to be the year, it'll be a battle between Griffey and McGwire to see who breaks it. Well, it happened to be McGwire. But very few people gave Sammy, whose leading home run year was 40 going into this year, any chance. Well, he's knocking at the door, folks. And we still, being at game number just 150, with 12 to go after today, have enough time where both of these guys could be in the mid or upper 60s before it's over.
And I want to be very clear, I'm not criticizing McGwire at all for this perceived lack of attention for Sammy Sosa. I think really Sammy has probably preferred it that way. Morandini hooks that ball deep down the right side. And he just missed hitting a home run. But I will say that I just hope that the fans of our game, if Sosa hits 1, 2, 3, however many more home runs than McGwire at the end of the year, gives him the kind of celebration, the kind of accolades, the kind of reception that Mark McGwire so richly deserved, because he will too. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Mickey. And again to first. Like McGwire, Sammy Sosa is the right man at the right time to be another hero for this game of baseball.
And there are the big checks. Just one behind Mac at 61. With the wind blowing out and a long way to go in this one.
So today might be the day. He's hit 9 homers against Milwaukee. Now has Sosa. Morandini, ground ball up the middle. Good play, Loretta. Fina, bare hand. Head to first. Not in time. Brewers thought they turned it. And Vina did everything he could to try to turn it. But Mickey hustled down the line to keep the inning alive.
We've seen Brett Boone do this with the bare hand. Now Fernando Vina steps on the bag, throws to first. And Bob Davison said it was a step late. So the inning stays alive. But the Cubs have put 8 on the board and lead by 5.
Scott Service 1 for 2. And a slider for a strike. They go to the top of the 9th in Montreal. Mets 1. Expos nothing. Montreal shut out on 3 hits so far in that game. The 0-1 to Scotty. 0-2 now. Cubs got 6 in the 3rd after trailing 2-0. Milwaukee scored a run in the 4th. The Cubs with 2 here in the 5th on a massive mammoth Sammy Sosa home run, his 61st of the year. They may have to rename it, folks, to Sosa Street.
Well, that ball went down Kenmore Avenue.
Swing and a miss. Service strikes out. And the inning is over. Sammy got number 61. Will there be another? Only time will tell. Cubs 8. Milwaukee 3. We go to the 6th inning. They are roaring for Sammy. And indeed, his magic number to catch Mark McGwire is now 1. The Cubs' magic number for winning this game is 12. That's how many outs they need. It's an 8-3 ball game as Traxel trying to win for the 15th time this year. And Traxel will face the 3-4-5 spot in Phil Garner's Milwaukee. We go to the 8th inning. Cubs have an 8-5 lead on Beanie Baby Day at the ballpark. Again, our thanks to the folks at Tie Incorporated. Terry Mulholland goes to work here against Nilsson, Cirillo, and Burnett's very tough part of the order for the Brewers. My name's Chip Carey, along with Steve Stone, and the man who caught lucky number 61 in the booth with us, John Witt, is the man that, well, risked life and limb to catch number 61. What was the scene like out beyond the ballpark in left field when that ball came your way?
It was pretty much a zoo. I mean, people all over the place. I was standing back and just got a good bounce.
You caught it on a bounce. You didn't catch it on the fly. Come on, man.
But you said that it did go by the building on a fly.
It hit about 2 feet past the corner of the building on the fly.
Well, that is a tremendous home run.
Sprayed foul 2-2. And I guess the question on everybody's lips now is it's number 61. Sammy still trails McGwire by 1. What are you going to do with the baseball?
We're going to talk to Sammy. You know, I'd love to give it back to him and work something out with him there. But, you know, McGwire's sitting on 62, so is it really worth that much, you know? I haven't really thought about it.
There are only 3 men now in the history of the game who have hit 61 home runs or more.
Exactly.
And you've got the ball that...
And it's not something that happens every day.
No question about that. 3-2 to Nilsson. Ground ball foul and out of play. You had to jump in a car for safety, huh? Was that crazy out there?
Yeah. It was pretty funny. I put the ball in my glove and three guys that are regulars out there just took me off, and away I was. I was in the van.
Well, obviously you didn't fumble. Have you given any thought about maybe going over to the Bears and trying out for tailback or something?
Probably couldn't do much worse, but.
Foul ball again by Nilsson, who is 0 for 3.
Yeah, I think the thing you had to avoid was a blindside blitz where somebody knocks the ball out of your glove.
That's why everybody was around me out there.
Where are you from, John? Are you from Chicago?
I'm from Dixon, the hometown of Ronald Reagan.
Oh, outstanding. And how did you come about being at the ballpark today? Just wanted to see a part of history, or did you have tickets?
I was at a party about 8 blocks away last night, and I'm like, you need to go to the game. I have no idea why I was supposed to come or what. It just happened.
Well, there was the scene a few moments ago after you caught the baseball in the cart for safety. There's the record. Number 61 home run ball. Stoney's going to hold it, and he served up a few of those himself as well.
Well, I have it right here, Chip, and there is a scuff on the baseball where it obviously hit the cement after it went by the building. But why don't you hold it up and show it to the folks? The historic number 61.
So, John, all your friends and family down in Dixon, they ought to be awfully proud of you catching that ball on the bounce. Congratulations, and hope your meeting with Sammy Sosa goes well after the ball game.
Thanks.
All right, John Witt, congratulations. Thanks for talking about it with us. And hopefully you and Sammy can get together afterwards, and he can get the souvenir, and you can get something nice as well. Cubs looking for the win now as Jeff Cirillo the batter.
Card, and you'd have two dramatic come from behind wins back-to-back.
1-1. Bouncing ball right side. Vigna handles the big hop, looks at the baseball, throws out Grace. Now all Sammy can do is bring us to it in 1. But what a thrill that could be.
And look at the fans. Every man, woman, and child on their feet all around the ballpark. The biggest crowd of the year greeting Sammy Sosa.
Almost 41,000 here today. The Cubs have drawn 2.46 million fans. And with 3 more home games, should go over 2.5 million. Plunk sets. What a cut. It's 0-1.
Pedro Valdez in the on-deck circle. He'll hit after Sammy. If he can keep it alive, it'll be Gaetti. And the crowds are getting bigger across the street. They can't get any bigger in the ballpark.
The 0-1. Again, it bounces up there. Same pattern to Sosa as we saw with Grace. Hopefully we'll see a different result. Mark McGwire with 62 homers. Sammy Sosa with 61. And we have 2 weeks to go in the season. Who will win the race? The stretch, the 1-1. He laid off outside. 2-1.
Look at those folks waiting for number 62.
The net's almost unfair. The 2-1. Swung on, there she goes. Number 62. Move over, Big Mac. You got company.
el 27 de septiembre. Sí, señor. Qué gran momento para todos nosotros. Cuadrangular 62.
Stoney, what a moment for two men, two nations, and two great storied ball clubs.
Both of these great sluggers, Chip, have completely erased all the ghosts of the past in baseball. And then there were two, McGwire and Sosa, alone atop the leaderboard with 2 weeks to go. And Sammy Sosa, with two monstrous home runs, has caught Big Mac. And the fans here on their feet screaming. They will not allow this game to continue. The Cubs still one back. They still have 2 outs to go, and they're screaming for Sammy to take yet another in a series of curtain calls to commemorate that particular piece of baseball history.
And isn't it something? Mark McGwire, so gracious in St. Louis, as was Sammy Sosa when he got to 62 first, said, wouldn't it be something if we both finished tied? Well, I don't think they're going to stop at 62. But right now, with the Cardinals having a game to play, that man and Mark McGwire are the home run kings this season.
Later on in that game, when McGwire hit historic number 62, he went to first base and he said to McGwire, "Don't get too far ahead, wait for me." Well, you know it wasn't intentional, but Big Mac has waited. And Sammy has kept on coming to the point now where they're tied, and that's his family, his brothers calling home to commemorate this moment, and it just plain sends chills up your spine.
You just wonder when, for both McGwire and Sosa, the enormity of what they are doing will catch up to them.
Well, they have erased every other competitor in the history of this game, and those two stand alone as they both now will streak to the finish line. Who's going to win it is anybody's guess, but there's only 2 left, and one is wearing red and one is wearing blue.
Ironically, the same colors on our symbol of pride, Old Glory, and the same colors on the Dominican flag as well. What a job by the grounds crew here at Wrigley Field to clean off the debris. The fans in jubilation. And again, Sosa continues just to concentrate on the ball game.
And now, fans, there's a game to be won, and it's Henry Rodriguez who's going to come on the pinch hit with Gary Gaetti in the on-deck circle. And the Cubs looking for at least one more run. And that young man wearing the Sosa shirt,
and look at the dad,
will remember this game forever.
And look at the dad in tears. That's what this game's all about, folks. He's human after all. Henry sends a rocket right center field. That ball is off the wall. Henry hobbling towards second. He's going to make it with a double, and the tying run's on. Doing this as long as my grandfather has, but when crazy things like this keep happening, I remember what he once said in, I think, the 4th game of the year in 1964. He predicted the Cardinals were going to win the pennant that year. If this continues, you just think maybe it's our year.
Well, this wasn't as dramatic home run, but Henry Rodriguez essentially on one leg hits a double and then hobbles into second. Now Jason Maxwell, carrying the tying run, is on second base as a pinch runner.
Gaetti tried to check it and could not. This is unbelievable.
Rod Beck is in the bullpen, hoping that the Cubs win it, as you look at Jason Maxwell carrying the tying run.
If you can't outpitch him, try to outslug him. The stretch now. The 0-1. He didn't go. 1-1. What a privilege. We have seen two men hit their 62nd homers in the span of a little more than a week. One ball, one strike. Strike two called on the outside corner.
As the players and the fans try to rein in their emotions, because there is a game to be won and a huge game for the Cubs. Wasn't much doubt about either of those home runs.
Man.
They were exploded.
1-2. Bouncing ball up the middle, base hit. Maxwell rounds third. He's gonna score, and we are tied. Oh, baby, listen to this place. And not a Beanie Baby has been tossed. Now the winning run's on.
And when you only have one save, and it's Eric Plunk with only one, it's really tough to shut down the opposition. And Plunk has been unable to do that. Spurred on by the home run by Sammy Sosa. A double by Rodriguez. Gary Gaetti comes through again. His third run driven in today.
Mickey sprays that ball foul. Boy, you wonder the way Gaetti's been playing for the Cubs. When he takes off that uniform shirt, if there's not a big S tattooed on his chest, he has been Superman. He's unbelievable. He's at first with one out. The 0-1. Off speed high. Well, Grandpa, wherever you're watching, man, oh man. One ball, one strike. The stretch. The pitch. He flirted with a double and almost picked off Tom Gamboa. 1-2. And for that man, Phil Garner. Another slugfest that he has seen. Battled back to even keel. 1-2. Plunk ready. Here it is. Oh, he swung at a slider in on his thumbs, and he's out number 2. But here's Tyler.
And here comes Phil Garner. He's going to the pen, and it's going to be Mike Myers. Well, Chip, back in the glory years of the Philadelphia Phillies, it was Tug McGraw with the saying, "You gotta believe." And the more you see of this Cub team, and the more you see of Sammy Sosa and the rest of this offense, you gotta believe, certainly could become one of the trademark phrases of this team. Matt Mieske will come out to try to do in his former mates, as Mike Myers comes into the ball game.
Well, I mean, talk all you want about the home runs. What's excited me most about this incredible chase of McGwire and Sosa are the shots that the producers and the directors have gotten for you. Sammy Sosa weeping, the fans weeping, holding their children, the pop and the hop from Sammy, the banners, the signs, the resurgence of our game, and the raw emotion that people, when they leave the ballpark, are incredibly, completely, totally exhausted when the day is done.
And for Southwest Airlines, historic number 62 went 480 historic feet.
And the way Sammy keeps getting those guys airtime, they ought to give him a jet.
Take another look at it. Sammy got every bit of this. And that started the Cubs on the comeback trail here in the 9th inning. Just like he did yesterday. Only yesterday it was a base hit. Today it was historic number 62.
A hero a day. And for many, many days, it's been Sammy Sosa who now has belted 10 home runs this year against Milwaukee. And don't forget, when you think about adding up the final totals, he's got 2 more games against these guys in Brew City, starting off the final road trip of the year. He's answered more curtain calls than Luciano Pavarotti. And he has indeed performed 62 beautiful arias this year.
Mike Myers comes into 2-2, ERA 2.79 on for the 67th time. And he'll be facing Matt Mieske, the former Brewer.
So let's see if Matt can bite the hand that once fed him here. Mieske with a home run. On the year, he looks at a strike. And Myers with that funky arm angle. The submarining southpaw. Looking ahead to the 10th. Milwaukee will have the lower third of their order due. This baby ain't over by a long shot. 0-1. Way outside. Almost to the bricks. That would have been nice. 1-1. Orlando Merced waiting on deck.
Well, if Mieske can keep it alive, then Merced, for the second time in as many days, will have the opportunity to end the game with one swing of the bat.
And if you're just joining us, you haven't missed much.
No.
It's 10-10 in the 9th. 1-1. No. 2-1. What do you think the Mets are thinking right now? After beating Montreal, they're probably just getting through customs. They're going to find out that Sammy hit number 62 and we're tied, and maybe a chance to win it here. Strike 2. And for a team, Stoney, that had so much trouble winning games, or at least getting tied to games in their last at bat, all of a sudden in the last 2 days, the Cubs have battled back to do just that. A lot of veterans on this team who never say die. Yesterday it was 5 to win. We've scored 2 to tie here today. The shooter, Rod Beck, is ready in the Cubs bullpen. A right-hander toiling for the Brewers in their pen. I think it's Reyes. Let's see what Mieske does first. It is Reyes. 2-2. Gaetti leads at first. The pitch. Way outside. 3-2. A walk puts the winning run in scoring position. And Gaetti will get a head start. If Mieske could fill a gap, we could win it right here.
Well, the outfield's going to play a few steps deeper. They've got to cut everything off. But the advantage for Gary Gaetti is he'll be off with a pitch.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody has left. The runner goes. Pitch is a ball. First and second. A hit wins it. And now Merced will be called back for Manny Alexander. Well, if the Cubs don't win it, we're going to have a real interesting looking fielding team out there in this 10th inning. Alexander will be announced, and then Phil Garner has a decision to make. The gears really turning here. Garner on his way out. The decision is made. Alexander announced. Reyes will come in. And as the Brewers skipper heads to the mound, let's step out for a moment. We'll pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
Man, unbelievable. What a pleasure, what a thrill, what an honor it is to be a part of this. Scene at Wrigley Field. Sammy Sosa has hit 2 home runs. He's got 62, as does Mark McGwire. And big fella, you're probably watching down in Houston, where the Cardinals play the Stros later on tonight. Go get him. And I know you're happy for Sammy, and he's happy for you. You each have 62. And look at how the race has been even.
Well, Matt started out, but it's not a sprint. It's a marathon like the season. And here on September 13th, at least for the moment, the 2 big guys are tied at 62. And Al Reyes will come on. And he'll face Manny Alexander.
You out of gas over there, man? This is unbelievable. You run out of superlatives, really, when you think about it.
And Reyes at 5-0. He's had a very good year. ERA .417 on for the 45th time. And I would say for the last week, you at home who certainly have been able to witness this chase on WGN have certainly joined us here at the ballpark, but these games have you pretty much on the edge of your seat the entire game, with very little decided in most cases until the last at bat each and every day.
Arnie Harris, who's been here almost as long as the Ivies covered the walls at Wrigley Field, just told me in my earpiece that these are the 2 most exciting games he has seen ever, back to back, in 35 years of doing baseball. That's saying something, folks, because there have been some great players and some pretty good teams here, too, and some exciting moments as well. But you've seen it all here today and yesterday. And we hope you're enjoying it as much as we're enjoying bringing it to you around the country here on WGN. And there's still a scrum going on for the ball.
62, baby!
So here is Manny. And now he steps out. The winning run at second base. The Cubs, for the 2nd straight day, trying to win a ball game in their last at bat. Reyes sets the pitch. It's high. Lance Johnson waiting on deck. A game in the hand of Reyes. No one else warming for the Brewers. One of the best pinch hitters in baseball this year, and certainly average-wise in the National League, is Manny Alexander. The 1-0. Low. 2-0.
One of the big problems for Reyes has been his control. He's averaged 5 walks per 9 innings.
Runners lead at 1st and 2nd. 2 in, 2 out. And he got the off-speed pitch over for a strike. That was the please catch the corner curveball. And it did. 2-1. A runner at second belongs to Plunk. That could be the game-deciding run. 2-1. Low, 3-1. Oh, baby, that was close. What an eye. They're ready to erupt out of that Cub dugout. Three balls, 1 strike. Swung on, popped up, and playable for Nilsson in foul ground. He's got it, and the inning is over. Manny upset with himself. pitch may have been high. In any event, the Cubs tie it in the 9th. Sammy has 62. We go to the 10th. It's 10-10. He's the man of the hour, Sammy Sosa, with a couple of jacks. 10-10 as we head to the 10th. Matt Mieske stays in the game. He'll play left field for the Cubs. Sandy Martinez behind the plate to catch. And Rod Beck will work against the lower third of the Brewers order in the top half of the 10th. Now let's win this thing. Johnson, Hernandez, Grace. Could Sammy hit number 63? He'd be due fourth. Well, it's 10-10, bottom of the 10th. Unfair. The 2-1. Swung on, there she goes. Number 62. Move over, Big Mac. You got company. Sammy's hit 2 home runs. And this one's not just for my granddad. This one's for Cub fans everywhere. If we can get this one, what a lift it would be. Sosa with 62 homers. That's one tired manager.
Well, you come back here, and these are going to be 2 of the games this season that no one will ever forget.
Oh, man, no doubt about that. Lance Johnson's going to lead it off. He's 2 for 5 with a triple. And he takes a strike from Reyes. Johnson, a slow ground ball to Vigna. He handles the hop, and there's one man down.
Cubs need one base runner to bring Sammy to the plate again. That's assuming that Jose and Mark don't end it.
Now remember, in the 9th inning, Race opened up the frame by grounding out to second, then Sammy hit the home run. Lance grounds out to second, and here's Jose. He's got home run juice. He's 1 for 5, and he looks inside. One for 2 lifetime, and the pitch, line drive right field. It's going to be caught.
What a good play by Burnitz. That sinking line drive. Ticketed for a base hit, but it didn't work out that way. As Jeremy Burnitz makes a fine play, Jose hit it right on the nose, but Burnitz right there. What a ball game.
If any of you had the foresight to get this one on videotape, send us a copy. This one's worthy of keeping in the archives, as was yesterday's game. Grace 2 out of 5 today with a double. 2 up, 2 down. Grace sends a drive deep right. That ball game is over. Cubs win. The Cubs win. Grandpa, I gotta use it. Holy cow, what a game.
with dramatic moments and historic moments. It finally ends so appropriately on a home run. Only this time it wasn't Sammy Sosa. This time it was Mark Grace hitting his 16th. 3 hits today. The final one ending a great comeback by the Cubs, who have kept their 1-game lead in the wild card, and the fans refusing to go home.
And how fitting is it on Gracie the Swan Beanie Baby that he takes the Swan song with the game-winning homer. The Cubs will maintain their wild card lead. Sammy Sosa has hit 61 and 62. And folks, it's a shame we got to head west to San Diego. Wow.
Here he comes. He's faced Christensen once. Christensen struck him out.
Well, Christensen's only given up 1 home run all year to go along with his other excellent stats. League only hits .207 off of him. And he has 68 strikeouts in just 63 innings.
He and Sosa, 62 home runs. All 1 to Mark McGwire. There's a drive to left center field. And number 63 for Mark McGwire.
That is amazing. He can sit on the bench for 9 innings. The first strike he sees, he knocks it out of the ballpark. But then, what does he do that's not amazing?
It was a week ago tonight at 8:18.
Go tonight, Mark McGwire hit his 62nd home run of the season. They were playing 2 in game 1. McGwire did not start. He was on the bench. But J.D. Drew was in, and he jacks it. Second of the year. The lead is 4-2. Shows you a little something here.
Well, this ball starts to tell on him now. They've been pitching him really well. A lot of breaking balls away, fastballs running like that. He's made some nice adjustments.
All right, 4-4, Kevin Young against Donovan Oswald. Oh, short, sweet, and to the point. Pirates are up 7-4. I mean, that was a shot. 25th of the year, a 3-run shot. It's 8-5, McGwire. Jason Christensen, don't go there. McGwire comes in as a pinch hitter. You figure maybe a little cold, a little rusty. No. So a new high water mark in home runs for a season. 6-3 for the big redhead.
He might not take batting practice the rest of the year, getting pitches like that, coming off the bench and driving it. That might be how you keep your back healthy, not take a lot of extra swings in batting practice.
So, McGwire gets it done. J.D. Drew also hit another 2 in the game. The Pirates do win by a final score of 8-6, but perhaps a little glimpse into the future of the St. Louis Cardinals, and maybe more protection from Mark McGwire in the order next season.
In person.
It took 37 years for 61 to fall, but 62 didn't even last a week. Still, to Mark McGwire's amazement, for some people, even that was too long.
I think we spoiled you guys. You know, I mean, I just play the game. I'm gonna swing the bat if I get balls to hit. You know, I've been pitched pretty tough, but nobody seems to want to talk about that.
The last time the single-season home run record stood for a shorter period of time was in 1921, when Babe Ruth needed 6 days to increase his total from 58 to 59. The 7 days between McGwire's 62nd and 63rd home runs didn't quite shake the world, but they did shake up the home run race.
I can only take care of Mark McGwire. I can't worry. And if I'm going to sit there and look at what he does, I'm taking myself out of my game, and vice versa with Sammy looking at what I'm doing. He takes care of himself, I take care of myself, and that's the way it is.
For now, Mark McGwire is again the undisputed home run champion of the world. But as the season dwindles down to its final days, he says he'd have no problem if in the end the record belongs to Sosa. After all, records are meant to be broken, sooner or later. In St. Louis, Jeremy Schaff, ESPN.
Strike. There it goes! See you later! 64!
There it is, and take another look at this one. Flash bulbs are popping, and watch the fan out there. As he's going for the ball, jumps down into the tunnel and disappears. I think he'll give the ball back once he's out of the
millennium. So let's get right to it. At County Stadium, here he is. McGwire still looking for 64 at this point. Check it out.
There it goes! See you later! 64!
Take another look at it. Look at the flash bulbs going. It is Milwaukee. There's nothing else to do except watch home run balls. Check it out. Matt getting the standing ovation from the crowd. Woo-hoo. That was awesome right
inside ball three.
They're all over him. Throw the man a strike.
Fourth inning, the fans are on their feet again, and they ain't cheering for Roque. He starts off, Big Mac, for the first pitch, high and away. Ooh. High and tight, 2-0. There's your strike, 2-1. Now he challenges him on 3-1. Good luck.
First base.
Rough crowd. Rough crowd, and it would get only rougher. Number 64, here we come.
There it goes! See you later! 64!
And how many more for Mark McGwire? The fans all head after the baseball. McGwire, traditional fist pump and a punch, and this one was gone within seconds after it hit the bat. Not one of those majestic long bombs, but a rocket. And then your next batter is Brian Jordan. And he's got to step out because the crowd in Milwaukee says, Big Mac, we want a little piece. Now it's McGwire in the sixth. Stay fair.
No.
Out of bounds. Needs to re-tee. David Weathers puts the ball on the tee for him. Hey, McGwire.
Right center. Backing up.
Is it 6-5?
Where's it going?
No.
Stay alive.
So McGwire is on 64, but I tell you what, and you know there are certain nights where a guy looks hitterish. Tonight was one of them.
There it goes! See you! 64!
An absolute rocket. So does Big Mac. Fourth inning. Rafael Roque takes the bullet with Langford on. That would be his 64th of the season. But he wasn't done. No, Mac took one to the warning track in the sixth, and then in the eighth inning, Mark McGwire's up there and facing Eric Plunk, who had given up Sammy Sosa's 62nd of the year after he took the curtain call, and everybody called him out to, say hello. Here's Plunk serving it up. That could go high and deep. I mean, this thing is walloped. The only question, would it stay fair? It did not. Stayed foul. Cars won 5-2. McGwire popped out to the catcher during that at bat. 88 home runs now for McGwire in 197 games.
But it looks like Mark McGwire is stepping up to the podium, so we want to send you back again live to County Stadium in Milwaukee.
How close did you come to hitting 3 home runs tonight?
Well, I mean, close. I mean, the other ones just hooked foul. So, I mean, that's, they finished well foul, so, I mean, you can't really, it's a tough judgment.
How do you feel now that you're one up on Sammy?
How do you feel now that you're one up on Sammy?
Well, all I can tell you is I feel good. I had a good game today. That's really about it. You know, and like I've said for 1,000 times, I only can take care of Mark McGwire, and Sammy takes care of Sammy, and that's it.
After Roque started in the first inning 3-0, did you think it might be a night when they weren't going to pitch to you?
No, they were very aggressive. Might have been just a little anxious, and you know, it's just a matter of you know, trying to get a pitch to drive. And actually, the pitch that hit off the mount was a good pitch. It was out over the plate on the corner, and I just drove it.
Maybe it's due now.
Okay.
How's your back feeling? And seriously, just picking all the people up, including Sammy, that home run. Does that hurt your back? Or are you so strong?
I had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. I've had a bad back since 1989. I will have a bad back for the rest of my life. Period. I play baseball. That's not good for your back if you have a bad back, and it will go out every year until I retire, and it'll probably go out every year when I'm retired. So it's something I've been dealing with, and any athlete that has a bad back has to deal with it, and I haven't missed a game, and I feel pretty damn good.
Richard?
Mark, can you sort of try to put into words what it's like in a game like this where the place is full to see you, and you're aware of it when you hit BP with every swing? I know you've been through it for a while, but can you put it into words?
Okay, go ahead.
Can you put into words what it feels like to be in a ballpark with everybody here watching you?
Well, I mean, I wish every player can feel. I've said this a lot. I wish every player can feel what I'm feeling. There's nothing better than playing a baseball game in front of a full house. You know, I know for quite some time now that a lot of fans across America have come, you know, specifically to watch me. At first it was very overwhelming, but I got used to it. You know, I can't, maybe at the beginning I was stressing out about it, because that's not what the game of baseball is meant to be. It's not an individual sport. You don't come to a baseball game to watch one guy. You come to watch the whole team, whatever team you're watching. But I've learned to accept it. I think both sides, whatever team we play on, gets excited no matter what, because it's in front of a full house. I mean, here are fans that are probably coming to watch games that haven't watched games in years, and they get to see other talented players. And I think that's one big thing why baseball's on the rise.
Did you always enjoy this park when you played American League?
Did you always enjoy this park when you played in the American League?
Yeah. It's always been a good place to come and hit. It's a very fair ballpark as a hitter, and it's going to be awesome to play in that field right out center field. You know, it looks great. So the fans here in Milwaukee have something to be excited about.
Have you heard from the fan who caught the ball?
Have you heard from the fan who caught the ball?
No.
Dave?
You always seem to respond whenever Sammy hits one. It seems like the next day or whatever you hit one to stay 1-0 or 2-0. Is that a conscious thing, or do you?
Again, I have no control over it. The only thing I control is swing the bat, try to get a pitch to drive. That's really it. There's not many other ways to explain it. I mean,
Jeremy.
Other than before the game, do you guys have a moment to say anything to private to each other?
no, I wish we did. We have mutual friends, so I'm sure someday in my life we'll have a few cocktails and enjoy ourselves. Did he stay? Yeah. That's neat. I mean, when you get to play in front of other athletes and other sports, and you know, I admire the way he goes about his business, and I'm sure he admires the way I go about it. It's nice to do well, and he has family and his wife and his daughter there, and it was neat. So hopefully someday I get to watch him play football.
Tom Hodgecourt.
Mark, you had a runner on second when you hit the home run and a 3-1 count. First base is open. Certainly, if they would have walked you, it would not have been the first time you saw that scenario. Were you surprised they pitched to you?
Were you surprised that you were pitched to with a 3-1 count and a runner on second base?
I was pitched carefully that at bat. I came in later, about an inning later, and I asked Chad, our video guy, where that pitch was, and he said it was the outside corner. So it was a good pitch on his part. It just I was looking out over the plate at the time, and I got extended. He worked me to 2-0 and threw a nasty fastball inside corner, and came back with a 2-1 changeup, and then there was a 3-1 fastball that hit. So it wasn't like he was technically pitching around me. He was pitching me good.
Tom,
you're famous with other players for your focus. After number 62, there's so much stuff happening in the back. It's a little bit now.
do you have your focus back after number 62?
Yeah, I mean, I'm human. I mean, there's such a build-up to do what I did, and you do it, and I basically didn't know where I was for a couple days. I mean, I think that's explainable. I mean, and then we go to Houston, and I was pitched very well. So then we come back home, and I started feeling better. So everything goes in cycles hitting. It just happens to be that everybody's watching, and so everybody's critiquing every at bat, every pitch. That's pressure itself right there. Not many guys. I mean, there's 100 and some guys playing this baseball game. There's a lot of guys doing what I'm doing, but they're not getting critiqued like I'm getting critiqued. So that's pressure.
People learning a little bit about that? About how hitters go into streets, how they...
I hope so. I hope you guys write articles about that. I mean, it's all about being focused and how strong your mind is. Your mind controls everything you do in the walk of life. And, my mind's very strong.
Go to the back.
Mark, Sunday it's Sammy Sosa Day in Chicago. We're hoping you could look into the camera and give congratulations to Sammy.
Well, I'll be sending him a telegram. So, of course, congratulations, Sammy. I hope they drive you out a blue 62 Corvette.
Okay, here at the front.
Do you have any words of encouragement for Sosa tonight after now you're one up on him now? Do you have any words of encouragement for him?
Oh, he doesn't need any words of encouragement. He's a professional. I mean, like I've said, he takes care of himself. I take care of myself. That's the only way we go about playing baseball. You can't worry about each other. I mean, right now it's a big deal. I mean, who finishes on top? Which, if you ask Sammy and I don't think it really matters. What we've done in the game of baseball, nobody's ever done. Nobody's ever done it. And it's like what we're doing.
Reason for it. Rather than talk about it, let's look together. The Cardinals and McGwire's day went from being incredible to just merely great. In the first inning, his first at bat, and Big Red goodbye. To deep left center field, the two-run shot, number 65 from McGwire. The usual scramble for the ball, and McGwire getting the ovation. Then in the fifth inning, McGwire coming to the plate again. Could he do it again? Oh, yeah. It certainly looks like it. Out to left field, and the fan with the catch, and that's home run number 66. Right, wrong. That is umpire Bob Davidson. He rules fan interference. What do you think? I think you know what I think. He was robbed. Tough call, but not that tough. St. Louis did go on to win the game, if anybody cared, 11-6. McGwire now 2 up on Sosa in the home run race at 65. Should it be 66? We go to the source.
After further review, it looked like it was a home run. The guy never came into play. It looked like the man that caught the ball. I mean, he never came over the yellow line. So I can understand if he came over the yellow line, but the replay shows that he didn't.
McGwire is 2 for 2 with 2 completely different at-bats. The homer, 420 plus to left in the first, and then an check swing, base hit through a completely open hole on the right side. in the third, with second baseman Vigna playing directly behind the bag. So the Mac-O-meter up to 65 and counting. And they have that same shift on with 3 infielders on the left side and only Loretta, the first baseman, on the right side. Another deep ball. Left center. Gone. And it is a ground rule double ruled by the second base umpire, Bob Davidson, off the railing in left center. The scramble had already erupted among the fans out there, thinking they had number 66. McGwire thought so too, and he had rounded second before the ruling by Davidson that it was a ground rule double.
Well, he's saying it was fan interference, that one of the fans had actually reached over. Now you can see the bar where the young man's sitting on, the yellow line. He said somebody reached over and therefore causing fan interference would have hit the fence as the umpire's ruling. Get a good look at it here.
Obviously extra security supplied by County Stadium here. There's the cut, and McGwire pretty convinced, it looked like from the get-go, that he had enough on this one.
I don't know if I agree with that.
That's on top of that railing.
Well, it looked like it was out, and then as the fan leaned back in, I don't know about that. They might have taken one away from Big Mac right there.
Looking good on that angle. Let's take one more look. Was this 66 or not? And reaches up, but that is well above that railing.
I got to believe that ball's out of the ballpark. Wow.
Well, we'll have to see how that reverberates through history, depending on where he and Sosa end up. Here is Brian Jordan with 2 outs, and McGwire at second.
In front of the ball, and this might be what the umpire got distracted with. Did you see the white T-shirt come over? The ball actually landed in a white T-shirt, and there, that.
Hold an auction at Sotheby's, make millions, and retire to Maui. For the polar opposite, the fan who was ruled to have interfered in Mark McGwire's apparent home run Sunday got kicked out of the stadium for disorderly conduct. So much for economic impact, and so much for home run number 66. Here's Jeremy Schaap.
Second base umpire Bob Davidson did what 60 National League pitchers could not do this season. He denied Mark McGwire a home run. 4 innings after belting his 65th home run of the season, McGwire drove a fastball from Rod Henderson into the jet stream. To the naked eye, there might have been interference, but upon closer inspection, it probably should have been home run 66.
It looked like the man that caught the ball. I mean, he never came over the yellow line. So I can understand if he came over the yellow line, but the replay shows that he didn't. But then again, it's a judgment call.
The Cardinals are asking the National League to review the play.
This is a unique situation because of all the attention that the home run chase has created, and you're not considering giving Mark something he didn't earn.
Michael Chapis, a high school phys ed teacher, was the fan flagged for interference, and he was fined $518.50. But he says he's no Jeffrey Mayer.
It's a sick feeling because poor Mac ended up with a ground rule double, and as far as I can recall, it was clearly over the line there.
Now, you're going to end up going down in history whether you want to or not because of this. You're going to become famous. It's a tough way to become famous.
Well, I didn't plan on doing it this way, that's for sure.
It's definitely over the yellow railing on the fly before anybody touched him.
Nobody reached over the yellow rail and touched
Not what I saw. Not what I saw.
It appears you took a minor injury going for that ball. Was it a home run?
Definitely a home run.
Center fielder Marquise Grissom, who was the Brewer closest to the play, saw things somewhat differently.
I think most of his body leaned over, and glove, and not his glove, but white towel or something came over the fence, and he tried to go back, pull back off the fence, which he was pushed over the fence. Clearly, that's what I seen, and tough call.
For his part, McGwire was less than distraught over the call. In fact, he was focused instead on home run 65. He revealed after the game that 65 was the number of home runs his son Matt had privately predicted for him back in the spring. Maybe Davidson just wants Matt to be right. In Milwaukee, Jeremy Schaap, ESPN.
Some of the Milwaukee Brewers feel the balls used during Mark McGwire's at-bats appear to be smaller and harder than the ones used by everyone else. Considering the fact that they have allowed just 3 homers to McGwire this season, you have to wonder why the Brewers staff would want to wake up the sleeping giant. Sioux County Stadium, Big Red comes calling in the first inning with Fernando Tatis at first.
He delivers McGwire. Swing, and there it is. 65, folks. A dynamite shot into the left field corner. Redbird leads 2-0. Number 65. The big man roars.
11th first inning home run this year. Top 5, McGwire comes calling again. And would this be Route 66? It's deep, but is it deep enough? Well, McGwire's not sure. Look at it again, as the arrow will show the fan trying to make the catch, but is he over the yellow railing and thus interfering with the baseball? McGwire's not sure whether it's gone or not. So he stays at second. Umpire Bob Davidson, who's been with the National League umpiring staff since 1983, made the call that the ball was interfered with. McGwire gets a ground rule double, and so much for sentiment. I could care less if he hits 150 homers, said Davidson after the game. As an umpire, you can't let that get in the way. 11-6, the final in this one. McGwire ends up a triple shy of the cycle. He hasn't hit a triple in 4,250 at-bats. That's the longest triples drought in Major League history. The fan who interfered with the McGwire ball was kicked out of the stadium, cited for disorderly conduct and trespassing.
But when I saw it on the videotape, the fan never came into play. He never hung up over the yellow line. So if he doesn't hang up over the yellow line, he's not in play, so he's not interfering with the ball. So it looked like he's well behind the yellow line, and he reached over, and there's a fence behind the yellow line that he went over. That's what I saw.
Once it leaves the field of play, it's not fan interference anymore. It's fan interference if you reach into play. So it wouldn't be fan interference, it's just home run.
Run, and the one that was called back.
Home run. Guy never came into play. So. I didn't see it when I was on the field. I was running. So I never saw it.
Mark, it seemed like it just came up. It didn't seem like you got all of it. How did it feel when you hit it?
How did it feel when you hit it?
It felt pretty good. I mean, you know, but I was running because it's a large gap out there, 392, and I was running, so I looked up and, you know, I didn't really see anything. I didn't see the ball come back into play. So, you know, and then he said he came over the fence.
Tom?
Mark, considering what the mistake is, you find it hard that you didn't give the benefit of the doubt. You can go either way.
I don't know. You're going to have to ask him on that one.
So, Dennis?
Mark, when you say after further review, how many times?
I just saw it twice just now for the first time. And it looked like the man that caught the ball, I mean, he never came over the yellow line. So I can understand if he came over the yellow line, but the replay shows that he didn't. But then again, it's a judgment call. I mean, he did his best by getting out there and, you know.
Dennis?
Do you look at it as just part of the game, or are you angry? Do you have any emotions about it?
Do you look at it as just part of the game? Are you angry? Do you have any emotions about it?
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's a tough call, you know. I mean, I don't know. Ask me in a couple days.
Are you still hoping that they could reverse this?
Are you still hoping that they could somehow reverse this?
That's up to whoever. If they, you know, I don't know. I mean, that's not my decision. So
yes.
First home run. Did you know it was gone as soon as you hit it?
First home run. Did you know it was gone as soon as you hit it?
Yes, I did.
After what happened yesterday, was you kind of rejuvenated? That last strikeout last night, you were pretty down.
Really?
After last night, did that home run rejuvenate you?
There's too many bats, too many games in this game to get down. You know, you play 162 games and you come back tomorrow. You can't get a hit every game. Just can't. It's impossible. Nobody's ever done it.
Joe?
What would your reaction be if I told you that supposedly that one of the guys who got the ball was disabled, and dozens of people crushed upon him to get your ball?
They should give it back to him. They should. I hope they do. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I mean, it's trying to further handicap somebody who's handicapped.
Well, I mean, that's if you have any kind of heart, you give it back to the person that deserves the ball. Larry?
Each additional home run will take on a meaning of its own. I mean, once you pass Maris's mark, each one have a new meaning of its own.
Does each home run you hit have a new meaning of its own?
Well, 65 had a big meaning because that's the number my son set just before spring training, so it means a lot to me. I asked him how many home runs he wanted his dad to hit. He looked at me in the eye and he said 65. So that ball means a lot to me, so I hope I get it back.
Mark, what do you think when you get that? When you said 65, it's kind of like, wow.
Yeah, wouldn't you be? Yeah, I was. Yeah, but it's just, that's all I thought about when I was running around the bases. My son predicted it.
Having met that request, are you worried about future requests from that?
Are you worried about future requests having met this one?
I'll sit him down and talk to him when I get home.
Phil?
Mark, in your career, how often has a situation like that come up? And also, you referred to the ball didn't come back in play. When the ball does go in the stands, you assume it's a home run?
Yeah.
Have you lost other home runs in your career on that call?
Have you lost other home runs in your career on that call?
Not that I remember, but I remember, well, actually one. I don't think it was a fan thing. It was in Oakland. I hit a ball, I think, in '87. They hit above the yellow line, and they called it hit below the yellow line. They said it was a double. But upon further review, it was over the yellow line.
So just from a player's perspective, watching the game, when the ball goes into the crowd and comes back, like it happened in Baltimore and some other places, did you think the umpire's got a call to make when the ball goes in the seats? It's surprising to see a call.
Well, I mean, honestly, I didn't see it running, but when I saw it on the videotape, the fan never came into play. He never hung up over the yellow line. So if he doesn't hang up over the yellow line, he's not in play, so he's not interfering with the ball. So it looked like he's well behind the yellow line, and he leaps over, and there's a fence that behind the yellow line that he went over. That's what I saw.
Dennis?
Mark, Dawson's point, not just the one home run. How about not getting a chance to get to the cycle thing? That's a single double and home run.
You have a better chance of winning the lottery for me to get a cycle.
So, Michael.
Okay, Mark, the last time you guys were here, you hit a similar shot. That area hit the top of the wall and bounced off, and the fan was popping the wall. So what do you think the pitch was that you hit out to that area?
What, today?
Yeah.
It was a fastball.
Fastball?
Yeah, it was a fastball.
Well, Bernie?
Mark,
sorry.
When you, after the 67 home run, when you came in, you spent some time, it looked like more than you were talking with Brian. You tell us what you guys were talking about.
Yeah, I was telling him about, that was my son.
Did he know about it? Or
No, nobody, I don't think anybody knew about it.
You said it was going to be an emotional moment.
It was inside, yeah. Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, he just said it. Well, yeah. Yeah, my son, I'll give it to my son, yeah. I mean, that's, what a prediction, my God.
Over there.
Mark, if you could get anything you wanted at the Step Surfer in Newport Beach, what would you order?
Oh, jeez, I haven't been there in years. The bagel and egg cheese thing, whatever they had there. It's been years.
Mark, you said it's not up to you to make the decision on reversal, but if they do reverse it, and the Cardinals have asked them to look at it, if they do reverse it, will you feel funny if they give you a home run?
I don't know. I have no idea. So it's out of my hands. If that's what they're doing, and if everybody has to agree upon it. You know, if they agree, if nobody agrees, then it's out of my hands. You know, so I mean, I don't know.
We'll take two more.
Matt, given what's at stake, should an umpire make that call unless it's absolutely 100%?
You have to ask him on that one. I don't think a player has to answer that.
70?
I'm going to give it 6 great shots, 6 games, give it my best, and wherever chips fall, that's where they fall.
Mark, last night you took a great BP and struck out 4 times today. You skipped BP and hit possibly.
That's why BP is overrated. It's very.
Could his arms be any bigger? Number 65 goes out. Number 66 called a double. A mistake by the ref. The ump blew it. They all make mistakes. We don't.
Yeah, I do that every day.
Give me one more.
You got the goal that your son set for you.
Yeah.
But you'd like to hit 300. That single today, is that the way you go about it?
Damn right, yeah. That was great, wasn't it? They had that over the line pull, you know, and that surprised me as well as everybody in the stands, I think. You know, check swing. Do I have to really run this out? You know? The next thing you know, you hear the fans roaring. I looked up and there was nobody at second base. So it's like, that's a base hit.
What about your slide?
Yeah, I've always been a good slider. Which one? First one? The last one? I thought I snuck in there by a toenail, but I don't have any very big toenails, so.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Of course, you've been watching Mark McGwire live from Milwaukee. Of course, the Cardinals have asked for that play to be reconsidered. It's my understanding of the rules that the judgment call cannot be reversed unless it's done on the field.
Those watching the Cardinals Expos game, Sammy Sosa coming up.
Everybody in the ballpark got to their feet when Sosa made his way to home plate.
Popped out to second his first time up against Jose Lima, against whom he has hit 2 home runs this year. Sosa takes the fastball. Tied, of course, with Mark McGwire at 65. Sammy Sosa has led McGwire this year once for 57 minutes.
That one drills deep left field. When it comes down, he leads him again. Sammy Sosa, number 66.
They got what they came for. He absolutely crushed that ball.
This ball game is tied. 3rd home run of the year he's had off Lima. 2-2 ball game. Sammy Sosa led Mark McGwire when he hit his 48th homer August 19. 57 minutes later, McGwire hit his 48th. McGwire's playing tonight. Grounded foul outside of first.
Over to you, Mark.
1-2 delivered to Mark Grace is up high. The electricity.
There's a buzz in there, isn't there?
You could light this city for a year if you could capture the electricity in this dome right now. 3-ball, 2-strike count on Grace. Cubs tie it up 2-2. This game and the one in Atlanta are looking a whole lot alike. That one hit in the air to center field. Carl Everett. Mark Grace is retired.
Sammy Sosa on a 1-strike pitch. They try to come inside, and he's looking for it.
It's a good pitch down around the knees, but he was looking inside half of the plate. And there is no doubt about this one. It is into the fourth deck in left field.
And you saw the young man who had it as a souvenir. Still on. Gets the strike. Lima's now given up 3 home runs to Sammy Sosa this year. Sosa represents the tying run for the Cubs, who are down by 2 with 1 out. The 0-1 side, and wouldn't you know it, Mark McGwire is up in St. Louis. He has not had a home run tonight. So we'll keep you here watching Sosa, and you can watch McGwire. 1-1 pitch to Sosa, grounded toward short. Johnson gets back to second. Gutierrez makes the play. Sosa's out. Mark McGwire.
Oh, they're calling foul.
Hit a bomb to left field. He is still looking on from the plate. The fireworks have gone off. The ball has been called foul.
McGwire giving the umpires fits in this last week of the season. I can't tell you if this ball's fair or not. He got a fastball in and drove it. Now Mark's going to step to the plate and look for himself. His reaction will let you know what he thinks. Now that hand that came in there, that was home plate umpire Kerwin Danley.
Remember, McGwire knows that Sosa has already homered here tonight, and as you just saw, Sosa has the home run lead for just the second time this season. 1-2. Shane Bennett gets a fastball by McGwire. Bennett retired McGwire last night. Bennett's on in relief of Miguel Batista, who walked McGwire and then got a fly ball to left field. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Brian Jordan, the runner at first. I don't think you can hit a ball higher than Mark McGwire hit that ball. That's what made it so tough to call.
Yeah, I was just thinking that ball is in, what is that, 5th level in this place? I mean,
pulled foul. It is amazing to see a crowd of over 40,000 as a group stand up as Mark McGwire makes his way to the plate before his at-bat. And what's just as amazing is it's happened on the road all season long as well.
When he hit that ball so high, we can't even pick it up.
The chase was in foul territory for what that's worth. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
This one is well struck and well fair and well out of here. Woo!
Unbelievable. He got a fastball and drove it. There's no doubt about it. He just kept this one fair, Dan. That was the only difference. I don't know if that was 57 minutes or not, but we couldn't ask for better TV.
Poor old Sammy Sosa takes the lead for the second time all season, and each time he's had it less than an hour. Back comes McGwire to tie. Cardinals lead 4-2. Boy, if you don't get chills up and down your spine watching the drama that Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire provided this season.
That was awesome. What a moment.
Over to you, Sammy. Having just hit one into the upper deck, but just foul, a few pitches later, Mark McGwire goes deep. When you hit as many as he does, you got a pretty good idea when you've hit him out.
Well, does that look like a guy who, well, I don't care who wins the home run title. Come on, that man's a competitor. He's trying to win that thing. No doubt about it. 379 feet. Number 66 for Mark McGwire, once again tying Sammy Sosa. As Ray Langford bangs a base hit through the left side. Oh, yeah, I forgot there's a game.
It is amazing how early in the season, relatively speaking, Mark McGwire broke the record. It's equally amazing that Sammy Sosa has stayed with him and that the two of them are going to take it right down, it looks like, to the final swing of the season.
How can you? We don't have any control. Hey, your wife's calling. I mean, let's... we don't have any control over it. You know, we get in the box and he has to battle, I have to battle. I mean, that's one of those things that it's unexplainable. So let's leave it unexplainable. That's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen this time of year. It's like, you know, we're not fighting for anything. Right. Well, that's his feeling. My feeling is it's what he and I have done, and whoever is on top, nobody should be disappointed. We're two guys that have done something that's never been done in the history of the game. So how can you walk away being disappointed if you're one below, even, or one above? You can't. It's impossible. I mean, you have to sit back and really realize what he and I have both done, and it's remarkable. So you can't, he or me, Sammy or myself, whatever happens to the last out of the game on Sunday, I mean, how can you even think about walking with your head down? Not at all. Like I've said thousands and thousands of times, I have no control over it. I can only control Mark McGwire's swing in the bat. Is anybody going to ever write that?
So Mark McGwire, we'll hear more from him later.
This whole year is not going to sink in for quite some time. I mean, that's just normal. I mean, I take every at-bat as a new at-bat. I mean, sometimes I'm not very good. Sometimes I get hits. But this game is a game of adjustments, and if you don't learn how to make adjustments, you're not going to last very long up here. And that's how I look at it.
How would you like to
He's got a pretty good shot at breaking his record someday. It looks like it. I mean, he's a lot farther along than I was at that age, so, you know, it's going to be nice to play with him for a few years. Oh, okay.
What was your the fact when, you know, they did hit the home run and you were aware of it, what did you think? Did you kind of laugh inside? Were you mad inside? You had to have some kind of reaction. You didn't carry it with you, but just your spontaneous reaction. What was it?
He hit another one. You know, and it's, you know, it's just one of those things. I mean, he's just, once I saw the other day that he was 0 for 21, I mean, when you're 0 for 21, you're swinging the bat like he is, it's just a matter of a pitch. And he hits 2 the other day in Milwaukee, he hits 1 today. I mean, it's, I mean, he's having a magical year. You know,
most likely, hands down, unanimous MVP. So, I mean, like again, and there's nothing I can do about it. I can only take care of me. No. I mean, that takes away what this game's all about. And I said earlier today, that'd be ridiculous. God, you guys are speechless. What's going on? Where are you? With the flashes going off? No, you don't even notice them. I don't. Because there's such a good backdrop here, you don't notice them at all. Well, I felt it since day one, since I stepped here in the batter's box in St. Louis last August, so it's been outstanding. You can't help but play off the energy here in the stadium. It's not easy because it's like, I mean, after what I've done the last week, you know, I've hit quite a few balls down the line that have hooked foul, and you go, not again. But then again, you got to take a deep breath, and you know, at the time I had 2 more strikes to stay alive, and you know, he threw a fastball by me, then he went a slider, and then he came back with almost, I think it's the same pitch, and I got the head of the bat out, and you know, centered it. No, the pitch I hit was a fastball.
Looking forward to this being over this season. Have you played enough baseball so far? Has been enough ups and downs to bother you for a long time?
I'll never get tired of playing baseball, but dealing with the media, it's going to be a nice relief. Because, well, you know, one thing I came over to St. Louis, they said there was no media here. So, look at I wish we were going to the playoffs. I wish we were, but you know, unfortunately, there's one good note: we're going to finish above 500, and that's a big plus for us the way we played all year. No. They played they did fireworks? False alarm. Guy was trigger happy. It's unexplainable. Sometimes some things are meant to be unexplained. I have no idea.
How do you, fans go crazy, media's go crazy, your managers bubbling over, he wants it so bad. How do you keep your composure in the center of this storm?
Because I've learned today, not today, but I mean what I said to you earlier today, that one thing that I've got out of this year, you know, that means more to me than anything, it's not a number. It's the effect I've had on people in America and the people that have come up to me. And that, to me right now, this means more than a number. I mean, what I've done is outstanding, and I'm never going to sit back and, you know, if I'm not on top, be upset about it. I mean, I've had too many great letters and notes and whatever that just, it meant too much to me to be disappointed about anything. God, you guys are easy tonight.
That, of course, was Mark McGwire talking live right here on Fox Sports News after the game in which he connected for home run number 66 in Mark Sports.
One official Major League Baseball, $9. New ball, $9. New ball, $9. New ball, new ball, new ball, $9. New windshield, $100. 62 in Calhoun, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard, official card of Major League Baseball and believer that records were made to be broken.
On one hand, there's Mark McGwire's number 62 home run ball, a moment St. Louis fans will remember forever. On the other hand, there's Mark McGwire's photo ball at McDonald's, a collectible you'll treasure forever. This baseball you can't put a price on. This one's only $3.99 with any purchase at McDonald's. It comes with this stand. Collect all three. This ball's home is in Cooperstown. These will be right at home on your mantle because no matter what either ball costs, the memory is priceless. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Batting next, Mark McGwire. Where is
it? Did somebody say McDonald's? Oh, and you better make that to go.
Thank you, baseball fans. Together we celebrated a new record and gave honor to the old one.
Thank you for being with me 2,632 times. For making the present perfect.
Thanks for helping me become the man on the mound.
For making me feel like a kid again.
I was honored to share history with you.
Thank you, fans. Thank you.
Thank you, baseball fans, for the season of our lives.
Muchas gracias.
Mr. McGwire, I know you're having a pretty good season, but we'd really like to start our season. So why don't you do me a favor and try to hit a home run tonight, okay? For me?
I'm Mark McGwire, because I never stopped believing in my childhood dreams. I was able to hit my 62nd home run.
A happy new century. 次世代カラーフィルム、ポリカカラー、センチュリア誕生。
Find your dream.
Mark McGwire. They call him Big Mac. And guess what his favorite hamburger is? The Hardee's half-pound thick burger. Because some guys don't like eating a pound of bread to get a half pound of meat.